Hey guys, good afternoon. Listen, we're going to run to the White House for a thing. We didn't have this on the schedule, but they just did a bunch of tariff announcements, and they're sending out an administration official to the sticks for photographs. Let's go get a picture, yeah? So the Treasury Secretary and the Speaker, or the spokesperson, came out. Apparently, I don't think we missed it. I was on the other side of town. There's been a shooting in Northeast DC, Tacoma Park, but guess we're not going to cover either of those events. We're just racing. Let's go see what's going on inside. And all the crews are out here, obviously. Whatever they said was interesting. Peter Navarro, White House Trailers. Commerce Secretary Lutnick.
Make sure that we stand up and fight for the American worker, the American company. We want to bring fairness back to trade. And if you're not going to be fair to America or our workers, you're not going to access our market. Or if you do, you're going to pay a lot of money. So with that, thank you all. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
The greatest person who understands these are his goals and his objectives, and he is executing them. And so he said yesterday, or the day before yesterday was the first day he said, and he put out a truth that said he was willing to negotiate. And then yesterday he told us all he'd be bespoke. And then we had so many calls after he said he would do bespoke negotiations. I mean, it just became crazy, the amount of calls we got, that it was impossible to be respectful to all these wonderful allied countries and to do that. So how can you be respectful when a country says, I want to come and talk, I will do it, I will be reasonable, I've analyzed it, and we will come and talk. How do you deal with that when you have so many countries that deserve our time and our respect? So he decided he would pause it, start at 10% for everybody, right? And let's go negotiate with all of these great countries, and let's see if we can do great deals for America, much better deals for America, but that's the model. So it was just...
Okay, guys. Well, that was a long day for not much content. We were expecting a lot more. We missed the first press conference, but we got the next two. That was the Commerce Secretary and the Transportation Secretary. Anyway, let's head out of here. It actually turned out to be a really nice day. It was really cold to start, but right now it's really warm. And, well, let's just get out of here. Hey, guys. Good Thursday. I guess it's lunchtime. We're up in Union Market. That's the wholesale food market in DC, where all the restaurants come to get their skinless goat meat. That's literally what it said on the sign. That was before the yuppies discovered this place and threw up beautiful condos as far as the eye can see, and brought with them really expensive posh pizza places like the one we're going to go to now, because I feel like pizza. How about you? All right, let's duck across the street, get some pizza. Okay, we're going to Stellina Pizza, which is a kind of a chain in the DC area. There's about 3 or 4 of these around town. They all kind of funky like. Hey, how's it going? Just one? Thank you very much. All right, let's eat, guys. If I remember, the cheese is pretty good. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Hot. Very hot. Sausage. Yummy. So, this used to be where you go to buy, like, 600 tons of tomatoes or something like that if you owned a restaurant. Now, there's still a few of those shops left. Not many, but a few. And they've been surrounded by basically yuppie places like, well, the one I just went to. Anyway, let's get our car. We've got an appointment at the State Department. So we're going to head over to the State Department today, take a couple photos of the press briefing in an hour, take a couple photos of the Secretary of State and the Secretary of State for Finland. Yeah. Anyway, it's a quiet day in Washington. So far, it's a quiet day. let's head downtown. Okay guys, we've made our way down to George Washington University area, and I wanted to point out that church across the street. We've seen it a few times. That church over there is one of the few churches that still has services in German. Yeah, twice a month they have German language services at this church. It has a long history of serving the German community. The United Church de Vernikinsche. Actually has the name in German over here. It's a Methodist church. And English services Sunday at 11. German services the first and third Sundays at 9:30 in the morning. Now this church is where John Philip Sousa was baptized. All right, John Philip Sousa was the leader of the Marine Corps band. Wrote Stars and Stripes Forever and the Washington Post March and several other famous marches that you hear pretty much anytime you see the military marching. And John Philip Sousa was born down in Capitol Hill area, and he was baptized over here at this very church. Pretty wild little story. Okay, we're heading to the State Department. We got a press briefing at 2. Got about 30 minutes to get over there, get through security. Every security is different. We'll see how these guys are. Oh wow, look at these flowers. Let's go. Yeah, the flowers are just out everywhere. Look at these. Tulips are all over the city right now. And we still have a few trees that are still blooming. This looks like a redbud though. They bloom at different times given some microclimate adjustments in the type of trees that they are. Some trees bloom early, some late. These are on the late side, I guess. All right, so that building across the street there, that black office building, that's a doctor's building. But one of the doctors in there is an abortion provider. And there's a couple women out in front right now handing out alternative brochures and whatnot, trying to keep people from having an abortion. That's the scene where we had anti-abortion activists break into the building and they stole 5 fetuses. Yeah, it was kind of a strange story. 4 or 5 fetuses they took out of there. And with the flowers, they're really everywhere today. Really pretty. Now we gotta go down to 23rd Street. The State Department actually takes up like a whole city block, but I have a specific entrance I can use as a press member. Let's head over that way. There are the redbud trees. That's what these those white trees we saw a bit ago are going to turn into these trees, these red buds. This building behind me, by the way, is the Smith Center. This is where the George Washington Revolutionaries, they used to be called the Colonials, now they're called the Revolutionaries. That's where they play basketball and other sporting events. But I guess basketball is over for the year, isn't it? That's a hotel over there. Nice little boutique hotel on the campus of GW. Never stayed there. Looks kind of funky. All right, 23rd Street, our destination. Let's go find the entrance. We're in the press briefing room at the State Department now, waiting for the spokesperson to come out, start a briefing. We're just going to get set up here. Pretty small.
Involved in this, we've got the best diplomats in the world, with certainly being led by Secretary Rubio. All of our leadership, but particularly President Trump and Secretary Rubio in public, have made it clear what's at stake when it comes to the nature of this situation ending. It is a dynamic that will not be solved militarily. It is a meat grinder. There is nothing else can be discussed for the outcome until the shooting and the killing stops. Secretary Rubio.
Okay guys, that was the State Department. Couldn't show you much inside. It's a pretty secure area. I will say that if you have been to your average high school library and American public school, you've seen something probably a little nicer than this building. This building is beat up. All right, let's find our car. Let's go figure out something else to do. Don't know what's going on at the White House. They might have some secretaries coming out. We might go over there. Maybe we'll go chase a fire. I think there's a fire on the other side of town. Let's go see what's going on. All right, over there is the Potomac Annex of Navy Hill. That used to be the Naval Observatory, then a Naval Hospital, but it's also a CIA office. Yeah, there's an office up there, a building up there that supposedly has some CIA people. That's where the CIA's first headquarters was, and apparently they just never left that building, even though the rest of the CIA moved out to Virginia. Over here on the right is the Pan American Health Organization, which is kind of like the World Health Organization, but for Latin America. I always thought this was the United Nations building, but it's Pan American Health, part of the World Health Organization, which we no longer belong to. So I'm not sure how long this building will be around in DC, or this headquarters will be in DC. Okay guys, we are out of the State Department, and I think I'm on the right street. Can get onto this freeway here. We have an incident, folks, at Reagan National Airport again. 2 planes have clipped wings while they were moving around on the taxiway. Everybody's okay, but the 2 aircraft had to be moved back to the gates for repairs. They'll probably be out of service for a while. We're going over to see with the big lens if we can actually see one of the planes that was clipped. We'll see. Okay guys, we know they're American Airlines planes. We don't know where they are at the airport. I figured let's just go up to the roof, the very tippy top of the parking garage, and see if we can see anything from up here. If not, we'll go down to the ground level and try from there. Oh, I'm dizzy now. Well, drat. All right. This terminal building is so big, we can't see over it from up here. Not only that, we have to walk to get to the elevator. All right, we're going to go into the terminal, see if we can see anything through the windows. I don't even know which flight it is. I just know it's an American flight. An American is up at this end of the terminal by the subway station. You can see the subway station right in front of me and the control tower. If we can't get it here, we'll go down to the main runway and look from a distance. Maybe we can see this thing. Maybe this is just an excuse for us to get French fries over here in Virginia. Always a silver lining, yeah? Okay, we're at National Airport right now. That's the gate one of the planes left at, C-23. That's not the same plane. I'm gonna wander about down to this side of the area and see if we can see anything from over there. Nothing. Can't see anything. We don't think they're at a gate. We think they went to where they brought the wreckage from the helicopter, which is down the other side of the airport. So we're gonna go drive down that way, see if we can see anything. Okay guys, we couldn't see anything from the terminal, but we got an idea. They might have moved the damaged aircraft to the southern end of the field, which is a Coast Guard facility, and it's where they take all the big VIP planes as well. Let's head down there and see what we can see, yeah? All right, we're down by the Coast Guard Air Station, which is down here. These are the old hangars of National Airport. This is where general aviation comes, where Trump's plane comes when he comes here privately. Air Force One does not fly here. But let's get around the general aviation and see if they brought the aircraft down here for repairs. That's where, well, this is the part of the airport with the most space. Boy, there's a lot of private planes in here today. A lot of private planes. And one American airline. Interesting. One American plane. Let's go take a look. Guys, that's the damaged plane being pulled into the hangar by probably the National Transportation Safety Board. I wonder if the other planes around here anywhere. So they just pulled this plane into this hangar. I guess they're going to look for more damage. I'm assuming this is the plane. It's rare that an American plane would come down here. Okay guys, we came out to Gravelly Point, which is just north of the airport's main runway, so that we could file our photos in time and get them up while this is still a story. But hey, here comes a plane. So Gravelly Point is like a park where people just come to hang out and watch planes. It's really cool. Let's go over and take a look, yeah? So just the other side of the river is the U.S. Capitol. You can see it over there. We got a film crew out here. There goes another plane taking off. See if one's coming in. They're always more fun when they're coming in. I see a local Fox 5 guy I'm going to talk to.
Yeah. And there were like 6 or 7.
Oh, yeah. I love coming out here. Of course, I'm just a big kid. All right, let's go get that burger we promised ourselves. There goes one of the fire boats for the airport. They have several boats in case there's an incident, like there was. Hey, someone flew a kite here and hit a plane. So they had to put a sign here because the obvious thing not to fly a kite where airplanes are landing just doesn't resonate with some people. I earned it. I've been busy. Okay, guys, that's the day. It was a bit crazy, and, well, that's just my life. Tomorrow, Trump flies out. Maybe it's supposed to rain all day. He might just motorcade. And we'll run around the city trying to find something else to do. Thanks a lot for watching. See you tomorrow.